Today I'll be showing you on Premiere Pro how I collaborated this
to this.
So yeah, it's Prime Edition from the Synoptics. So first things first, we're gonna open our Premiere Pro. So here I'm just going to rename my project, choose a place or location where I want to save my project, and then we are ready to start color grading. This is 2019 Premiere Pro. To those of you using 2020, you're on a good and a safer side. So this is my own workspace. So let's import a clip. And now to the timeline, to my timeline. So you can just import any clip you want to use, take it down to your timeline that I know you know of already by now. So we're just gonna create an adjustment layer on it. So this is the adjustment layer. I'm going to go to the color workspace now. That's the color workspace. It looks weird because I've touched. My hand doesn't stay one place. I've touched. So it's not weird actually. You understand it already if you're editor. So yeah, this is the workspace for color grading, for color correction, anything color, whatever has to do with color. If you want the black and white, this is the workspace. So long as color, this is definitely the workspace. So yeah, I'm gonna open a Lumetri scope. This is a Lumetri scope. So yeah, on our Lumetri scope, we're gonna take off this Vitroscope here because it's not really needed. Because the first things first is to color correct. You're gonna first of all color correct. So the Vitroscope is not needed. What we need is the Luma. That's for color correction. You can see there the waveform Luma in bracket. So down to the color correction. Color correction, baby. Sorry, color correction. So to our Lumetri scope, a Luma, you can see the 0 and the 20 there, those two figures, 0, 10, 20, that's for the blacks. So now, and from 20 to 40, it's the shadow, that's for shadow. The 20 to 40 is for shadows. Now from 40 to 60 is for contrast. Yeah, that's for contrast. And from 60 to 80 is for the highlights. And from 80 to 100 is for the whites. I believe you've gotten the gist now, brother. So yeah, let's move on. So the first thing first you're going to do is to white balance. Yes, to white balance. So we are going to white balance. First of all, you have to white balance. So I'm just going to use eyedropper 2 and look for a very clean white background. Yeah, the cloud has that white background I need. And if you watch well, you can see that it has changed from being cold to warm. Okay, so when adjusting the blacks, remember from 0 to 20 on the Lumetri scope is for the black, and when you adjust it, you make sure it doesn't cross 0. So that's it. Alright, so now to the whites. Remember on your Lumetri scope, the whites is the 100, from the 100 to 80. When adjusting your white, you have to make sure it doesn't cross 100. Sometimes you don't really have to follow the rules of the Luma waveform, because it actually depends on the image you have. So that's for white. And now for shadows, remember also it's from 20 to 40, that's for the shadows, and also from 80 to 60 for the highlights. That's some color correction. I didn't use contrast here. I will actually use the contrast with curves. This is curves. You can see the white straight line in a square shape. So yeah, this is curves. First dot I'll be making is for the highlights, the middle one the midtones, the third one the shadows, midtones and highlights. So I'm gonna draw the shadows down a bit, just trying to have an S curve. So yeah, and that's it. So if you look very well, you see the contrast it gave to the image. So this is the power of curves. Just basic correction, and this is the fact, the amazing change and the sweet look even without color grading, only color correction. You can see how beautiful it looks already. So this is the power of color correction. Before color grading, you definitely have to color correct. So I hope you enjoyed this. So let's move on now. So yeah, I'm just going to render my clip. It's checking, so I need to render it for it to move more faster. If you want to render your clip, you have to put your out. It's what they call, something they call in and out. It's like when you are highlighting the text, but your in and out highlights your clip for you depending on where you want it to start from. Like I did. If you can go back, I just highlighted where I need the end of the clip to the beginning of the clip and click on the enter key, and automatically it renders your image. And when it's done, you can see the red line on your timeline there. When it's done rendering, it turns green. So now you can actually see the difference, should I say the impact of rendering your clip. You can see how smooth it plays, no jacking, nothing, just smooth. Now I can even increase my resolution to full resolution. My clip will keep on playing smoothly, but without the rendering it will keep on jacking. You can see how slow it is, but now you can see how fast it is, the before and the after. So now let's move on. This is what we call the hue versus saturation. I'm going to use the eyedrop tool to select a particular color I want to saturate or desaturate. But first, let's start with a pool. You can see I actually used the eyedrop on the pool, which I did to just select the pool color because I want to desaturate other colors and saturate the pool color. So for you to desaturate, you just have to pull it down the way I'm pulling it down, pull other colors down and take the pool color up. You can just select whatsoever color you want and desaturate or saturate. It's just something you can play around with. The hue versus hue, you can actually change the color of whatsoever image you want. For example, now if I'm using the hue versus hue, I can change my pool color from the specific color to different color entirely. So that will be a lesson for another day. Alright, so now I'm just going to use my Vetroscope because I'm no longer in need of my Luma, the waveform. I'm just going to use the Vetroscope. Alright, so now on our Lumetri scope, we are going to change from the Luma, which is a waveform, which we use for basic correction, to the Vetroscope. The Vetroscope is actually for color grading. Here you see how other colors are being popped out. The more it goes closer to a specific color, the more the color is on the image. So that's what Vetroscope does. It shows you the color that is more saturated and the color which is desaturated, even the ones that are not on the screen. So that's what Vetroscope does for you. Alright, so when you use the eyedropper tool to select a specific color, and maybe for example the marks are much, like just like it is now on my screen, instead of you double clicking on the hue versus saturation box there to restart and to start afresh, you could just hold on to control on your keyboard and use your mouse to click on that specific color. And when you hold on control, if you observe very well, you see that the pen tool automatically changes. It gives a minus beside the pen tool, giving you the ability to deselect whatsoever marks it made for you on the hue versus saturation. Alright, so now moving on to color wheels and match. Now this is the shadows. What you just have to do, you can just draw the marker to a specific color. So for me right now, I'm drawing mine to teal and my shadows to the opposite of teal, which is the orange. And now still on my shadows, I'm just going to drop it a little bit for the shadows to pop out a bit. Yes, the highlight has to run with the skin tone just a little bit, not much. And alright, so actually my aim on this color wheel was to give my shadow the teal look, the highlights, the skin tone look, which is orange. That is why I had to let the mid-tone do the whole work, more on the touch of the orange than the highlights. I didn't need much of it on the highlight, just need a little bit, let the mid-tone have the more of the orange look, the skin tone to be precise. And now you can look at how our image looks cinematic, creative. There's this kind of feeling, I don't know how to explain it yet. So just drop on the comment box what you think about this color grading. So right here we're just going to give it a little bit of a faded film. The faded film has this this cinematic look, just like when you want your blacks to shine white. There's this, you can see the effect of it on the screen. That is what it does. It's just like increasing the blacks to shine bright. Lastly, we're going to give it a vignette touch. Now I'm just going to take the amount backwards. Now you can see what it did here. Turn it off and then turn it on. So that is the changes. So that is what vignette does. It gives it this curve at the edge of the clip. Alright, so now I'm just going to show you how to export your color grading. You just click there, you're going to click on the export look, and the file explorer comes out, show you export look where you want to, what location you need to drop your look, your color grading. So right here I'm just going to create a folder. Right click there, new folder, and name it my color grading. Let me go with color grading, and you just click on the background, then double tap and rename, and sorry, you're going to name the color grading. Let me just say color grading practical, or let me make it specific, color correction plus color grading practical. So now I'm going to click on save. So yeah, this is where we'll call it a tutorial. If you know this tutorial helped you, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and also drop on the comment box what you think about this color grading. If this class really helped you, please subscribe to our channel. We need you to subscribe, please and please. Thank you, and God bless you all.